Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So there's been a lot of conversation about UK employment rights, and one of the major proposed measures by the new Labour Party or the Labour government is the right for employees to request 4 days work in a week. So it means that you have more flexibility to choose the number of days you want to work and the number of hours you want to work each day. And there's been a whole lot of kickback by so many organizations, especially the SMEs, not wanting to give employees that massive right of choosing to work just 4 days in a week. And this is because of so many reasons, which I'll be sharing with you in this video. I'll also be watching a clip of, so many employers that have been, interviewed to hear their thoughts on how effective this 4 days a work week is actually playing out. By the way, if you're currently in the UK and you're looking at transferring money from the UK to Nigeria for free, then you want to check out SimlessPay app. Now you can get your SimlessPay app on Google Play Store or Apple Store. Now, transferring money from the UK to Nigeria can actually be free, and that's one of the things you get with SimlessPay app. You get to experience a zero transfer fee and you get the best exchange rate in the market. I mean, what other thing would you want transferring money from one currency to another if not enjoying the best rates? And most importantly, your transfer is secured. So what are you waiting for? Go on Apple Store, go on Google Play Store and download SimlessPay app. Open an account with them using my referral code Jesuloba. And guys, trust me, you also get to enjoy some other benefits like getting some referral bonus. So for every individual you refer with your referral code to use SimlessPay app, when they make a transfer of up to £250, you get a referral bonus of £10 each. So whatever you do for, get a app downloaded and get your money transferred from the UK to Nigeria for free.
Next week.
Nothing says both work and leisure like the humble British pub. So where better to discuss Labour's plans for a better work-life balance than a pub which has trialled its own 4-day week, with surprising results.
We did a 3-month trial, and then we looked into the feedback from that and the reviews. And the biggest bit of feedback we got through interviewing people, looking at different hours, their enjoyment at work, their productivity and all those different elements, was that actually people didn't take us up on it as much as we thought they would. We found out that it wasn't actually a 4-day week that people were after. It was more the value in the flexibility of their working hours, the choice to work when you want to work.
And that flexibility is key to understanding what's going on here.
Labour is pushing back pretty strongly against some of the headlines. They say the plan is to strengthen the right to ask for flexible working. That might include, amongst other things, so-called compressed hours, doing 5 days worth of work in 4, for example. But it's not quite the same thing as imposing a 4-day working week.
But the Conservatives sense an opportunity to paint this as part of a damaging attack on British business.
These kind of new regulations that are coming forward will have a French-style, very pernicious effect on the workplace. And if you want growth, you need businesses to invest. If you want businesses to invest, you need certainty. And this is creating uncertainty. It'll be very damaging for the business community.
Certainly not all businesses see the positives. This West Country manufacturer also recently trialled compressed hours, but with less obvious success.
Where we failed to make it work was because we managed the day-to-day, but fundamentally the sort of business planning, the development, moving things forward, that just fell by the wayside, and that's where we'd be back to. So our growth, stopped. And I didn't go into business to manage a school register and a rota.
The government's argument is that flexible working boosts productivity, but they'll need to convince businesses across the country that it's not going to.
When the government got into power, they decided to introduce, some changes to the employment rights here in the UK. And one of the things they try to change or try to implement or reinforce is the flexibility that employees get to enjoy on their job. So what they plan to do, or what they actually propose, is that from April 2024, all employees in the United Kingdom are actually allowed to choose to work 4 times or 4 days a week. And there are so many reasons why they decided to, propose this measure, and they're planning to pass this into law this November. So what exactly are we expecting? What are the changes that, is expected to happen? And from the clip you just watched, so many of these employers are not really happy. They don't think the 4 days a week policy is what employees actually need. And they also think it's not, effective, or it doesn't really support the business. It doesn't help promote, the growth of their business. Now, one of the things the government, the reasons why they decided to propose this measure was that they felt if employees have the right or have the chance or opportunity to only work 4 days a week, it helps increase productivity. And as that may be true in itself, the challenge with that is that now they're proposing that employees should work 4 days a week. However, there won't be any cuts in their pay. Now, for those who know flexible working, I work in an organization where we enjoy flexible working, and you can start to work reduced hours. But when you work reduced hours, it affects your pay. But that is not what this 4 days a week policy is talking about. Now, what this 4 days a week policy is saying is that you can actually work for 4 days in a week and still get the exact pay you're supposed to be paid. And at the same time, you need to also work the number of hours you're contracted to. So, for example, if you work 7.5 hours, you probably work 5 days a week, and you work from maybe 9 to 5, 30 minutes break in between. So what they're saying is that you're still going to do the 37.5 hours, but you can do all of this within 4 days, meaning you get to work more hours each day to meet up with your 37.5 hours a week, which makes sense in a way. Even though we're trying to like promote productivity, it still shows that employees will be forced to work longer hours every day in order for them to have a day off, if that makes sense. So yeah, they're planning on increasing productivity and also to help improve work-life balance. And to be honest with you, I think depending on the kind of job you do, most of the jobs in the UK are quite flexible, and to some extent, especially for those of us that work in tech, we have that work-life balance. You have, flexible working. You can choose that. Oh, next month I don't want to work on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and of course, you get a reduced pay. But they don't want employees to experience a reduced pay. They want you to work less hours or less number of days, same number of hours, and to get the same pay. Which, in my opinion, I think it makes sense. Now, and that major reason why the government wanted this to happen is because they were looking at increasing employee retention and attraction. So they think offering flexible working would give so many organizations a chance to keep their employees for a longer time and make the job a little bit more attractive to potential employees, which in my opinion I think makes sense. And one of the major reasons when I was trying to get a job in the UK, I think when I was trying to get a senior analyst job, I had two different offers that I chose one of the offers because of the flexibility that comes with the job. So, for example, the first offer that I got, requires me to be in the office 3 times every week. While the other offer I had, I was only required to be in the office once every other week. That's coming to the office just once every 2 weeks. So, of course, the salary was a little bit different. I think the difference in the salary was about 3 grand from each. So, the one that required me to be in the office 3 times a week was paying £3,000 more than what the other one was paying. But I still chose the second one because of the flexible working, because at least going to the office once every 2 weeks will save me some cost, on transportation and so many other, costs I would have incurred having to travel to the office. So I think, yeah, flexible working help, attract employees and also help retain employees. Also, they also think that this helps to reduce cost, for employers. So in their opinion, I think companies may experience cost saving through reduced overhead, energy use, and even lower real estate needs. So it means that if they decide to do 4 days a week, the organization will be, reducing cost in terms of having to pay for all of these things, energy bill, rentals, and all of that for that one day that no one is working, which in my opinion, I think makes sense. But I think it also depends on the need and the demand of the customers that work with those organizations. So what do my customers want me to be open 7 days a week? How do I get to manage staff that are choosing to work 4 times a week? Meaning organizations would have to like employ more, which I think it makes sense in a way, but at the same time, there are quite a number of issues with those policy. And one of them is that it's a big challenge to SMEs. So the small and medium-sized enterprises may face difficulties in transitioning to a 4-day week due to tighter resources. While larger organizations may handle the shift better, SMEs might struggle with adjusting workloads or handling clients' expectations without losing revenue. So I think SMEs will definitely lose revenue if they choose to do the 4 days a week. The only way they wouldn't lose revenue is to employ more employees that will fill the gap when those people who want to work 4 days a week are out of the job. So there's so many potential drawbacks, so many organizations on video you just watch who are not willing to, go ahead with this all 4 days a week, the challenges it's facing. And from what one of the employer said in the video you just watched, the employer said, when they implemented this for 3 months, they discovered that most of the employees are not even wanting the 4 days a week policy. They actually do just want the chance to be able to have flexibility on their job. And as at now, one of the things we get told in my organization is that even though we have the flexible working, it's also dependent on the need of the organization and the need of the client. So if the client wants us to be in the office twice a week, next month we need to be in the office twice a week, or if the business demands it, we need to be in there. So yeah, that's one of the things that is really happening around employment policies. And I think there's some job roles that will not be able to benefit from this. There are roles that you have to be in the office this particular period because this is the period that clients are usually available to meet with us. So for example, the kind of job I do, I can choose to work 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m. because what I do is my job requires some level of technical skills that I need to implement before stakeholders get to see some information. So I have that flexibility. But there are some jobs that are customer facing. You don't expect customers to come to your store 11 p.m. if you don't operate that way, or the transaction you have with them doesn't go that way. But anyway, that's some of the things that's happening around the employment policies here in the UK. And if you have any thoughts or any concerns, please sit in the comment section. Let's have a chat about this. We all work here in the United Kingdom. And if you're coming across my channel for the first time, do well to hit on the subscribe button to join the amazing growing family. And my returning subscribers, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. So this will be the end of this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you.